if they can go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourselves as far as your name, and then also if you did go to college, if you got a degree, and what you're doing as far as your field.
Okay.
If anybody that might be interested in working in your field too.
Absolutely.
Sure. So my name's Christopher Diaz. I'm a bank branch manager. I've been in this field the last 10 years. I was not a traditional student, so I'm a first generation student myself, which that's a big thing. So congratulations, that's a big step. I went to school initially to actually be a police officer. Finance and numbers have always been my thing and passion. Went back to school, and right now I am still continuing my education through Purdue University, and I'm actually working on trying to finish and get my MBA in finance right now.
My name's Amanda. I'm a banker at PNC Bank. Same for me, I'm also a first generation college student. I attended a more traditional in-person college campus up in New York, near the Buffalo area. And then whenever I moved back here, I also started doing more of the non-traditional virtual. I also currently attend Purdue Global. Luckily, PNC Bank actually gave us that opportunity, so it's fantastic. And I studied psychology, and as you can see, I've kind of gone into finance from there. So yeah, I've been in the current banking industry for about 6 years now. I've been with PNC for 3. So happy to be here.
Awesome. And so basically what we're going to do is we're just going to go over some of the basics about banking, and just kind of go over some of that information. And then as we go through, we'll ask a little bit of show of hands, if anybody knows anything or if you have any questions, and we'll stop and kind of go through that. So we'll try to keep this pretty simple. So it won't be anything boring. Like normally when you think of banking, we wouldn't want anything like that. So we'll try to keep this as fun as possible. So first question, has anybody ever thought about being able to save money? You have? Okay. What's one of the biggest things that you have whenever you try to save money that usually stops you?
Spending.
Right.
Or just having not having savings.
Okay. Now with saving, is that something that you just do yourself? Have you ever had a chance to actually speak with somebody? Have you officially put a plan for yourself? Is this something that you just know you have an account? Do you have tools, or have you ever considered any additional resources available for saving? No? Okay. Well, so some of the things with this workshop that we're basically going to be going over is just kind of giving you a brief overview of tools that you have available and some of the basics. So that way, your resources and anything that you can do. One of the great things with PNC Bank is that we've been the #1 bank for student banking in the last 4 years. That's something that we actually pride ourselves on because, students, obviously, you're going to be the future. We want to be here for you every step of the way, which is why, we spend a lot of time doing this. We make an effort to make sure that we're able to help our students so they can grow financially. And if they need anything in the future, we're going to be the bank that's going to be there for them. A few ways that we're able to do that is we actually have our PNC My Finance Academy, and this is completely free for you to be able to use. It's actually going to give you some finance tips, resources, and actually kind of give you a brief overview of how to manage your money. It's really basic, and you can go to pnc.com and or you can type in PNC My Finance Academy. It'll take you straight to the website. A game changer that we do versus the traditional banks is we actually have webcasts that we offer all of our students. They are completely free to sign up. Some of the webcasts that we do and have available, for example, here in February, we just did one February 8th, repaying your student loan debt. As a recent graduate, you may find yourself responsible for some outstanding debts. How do you pay it back? This is a basic understanding. They're hour-long little webinars that can help you get a simple game plan, give you some guidelines so you can have a positive cash flow and you're able to make those payments or even figure out a repayment plan that may work for you. So that's a good one. Here on the 20th, we're going to be offering credit scores and reports, understanding your credit score and how to improve your credit score. Some of the other features is we get a lot of guest speakers for these webcasts, and they're able to go over some of that information. One of the new ones that we have, 6 money lessons I wish I'd learned earlier. You know, being in my 30s now, if I could talk to the 20-year-old version of me and be in your position, you know, there's so many different things that I would have, such as slowly start to save my money. Don't buy anything just because my friends are buying it. You know, I don't have to keep up with the Joneses just to be successful. And then just continuing to just work on myself and improve, you know, small steps. You know, and you guys are taking a big step right now with what you're doing right now. You're in school, you know, this is your focus, you know, so definitely kudos to that and keep working on that. We also have our Spotlight series. So right now, this is going to be a couple, and basically these are quick video tips that we do. Sometimes they're 5 to 15 minutes long. They're quick videos, and they go on budgeting, investing, how to avoid fraud, how to use credit more wisely. And we have a whole series of Spotlight videos for those. And then another option that we have is under the My Finance Academy Insights. I'll let this load so you can see it. This basically is just going to go over, if you'll scroll down just a little bit. This is going to show you some basic information that you'll have. These are quick little reads. They're like 2 to 4 minutes, all of them. 12 ways to save money for college. How to start investing, a beginner's guide to stocks and more. So how many of you, show of hands, know about investing money? Nobody? Okay. Well, this is a good intro to tell you just the basics on investing. I know that can be something that's scary. You know, you're not really sure. If you're watching it, you know, it's always going to go up and down, and that can get scary sometimes, especially when it's your money and you're on a budget. But this will give you some basics. How to stop spending money. See, now, when I was y'all's age, this was my thing right here. How do I stop spending money? You know, whether it was talking to and going to hang out with some of my friends, making some trips, or just anything. This one's a good way to keep you on budget, in pace, and really be able to take control of your finances. And that's the most important thing, is you want to be able to take care of your finances responsibly. All right. If you'll scroll down a little bit for me. Now, also, we have a few other ones available. If you'll scroll down a little bit more for me, we have some things for your parents. So if any of you are parents yourself, you know, beyond saving, how can we teach our children how to invest? You know, we've got some things. How can we apply for federal financial aid? Making the most of our college savings plan. You know, and these are just a few topics that we have available. If you'll go to Tools for Students and Parents for me. So this is my favorite thing, is we actually have calculators. These are super simple and easy to use. And these really open your eyes. When you really start seeing what you're spending your money on, what it's really going to take to be able to save money or really put yourself in a plan to be successful, you know, this is the next step. So first, you know, it's let's figure out how we're going to get there. But now that we have this gives you the visual, and it really enforces your belief that you're going to really be able to see it. And now you know what you have to do next to be able to achieve that. So we could actually set a savings goal, which you can estimate your college costs, set up a savings goal using our college savings calculator. This will allow you to put like your daily expenses, tuition fees, and then any other sources of income that you have, and literally tell you a budget that you have to spend on for the month. And then sometimes, like I said, this is a really eye-opening thing, and you're like, oh man, am I really spending $200 a month on Red Bulls? You know, and that's a thing. Or Starbucks. Budget, same thing. This is it's going to give you a calculator. It'll show you a graph, and then it'll even break it down for you individually on what you're spending your money on. I know for my son, he's 16, and one of the things that he has is it's all video games. So it's all V-Bucks, you know, and that's, I'm like, you realize you could have bought yourself like an Xbox with the amount of money you spent on this for stuff that's not real. So it's pretty crazy. Now that he sees it, he's starting to get a little better with his money because it's his money. He works for it. And then plan for college. These are going to show you some options to help you pay for your education. Understand the total cost, financial aid, grants, scholarships, and even other additional college savings plans. And this is really neat. And then you'll scroll down for me. You know, this is going to be our student banking hub. Yeah, perfect. So our student banking center, and the easiest way you can access anything from pnc.com is as soon as you go there, there'll be a tab at the top and it'll say personal. You can click that and you'll literally see products and services, and you should be able to see find student banking right there in the bottom left. So it's easy to get to, easy to access. And then if you'll kind of scroll down for me. Now, going back to how we invest with our students is with our bank accounts for students, and it doesn't matter how old you are. You could be a first-time student at 60. You could be a traditional student at 18. Our student accounts are completely free for you, and they're free for you for 6 years. So you don't get charged any kind of monthly fees. You don't get charged anything like that because we want you to be successful. We want this to be able to work for you because you're already having enough to focus on right now.
Yeah, put a minimum or anything down, or
No, there's no minimum to open the account. What we do is we do ask for $20 in the account. So that way, as soon as you get your debit card, use it. Use it. Now you get a checking, additional checking, and a savings account. And that's called our virtual wallet. Now the neat thing with that is that goes back into the tools and resources. And if you were like how I was, if I see it, I'm going to spend it. So, transfer a little bit of money over to your savings, transfer into your secondary checking. That will allow you to create a budget and an easier cash flow so you know exactly what you're going to use. And you can put yourself on hey, I've got $150 budget for this week. I do that to myself right now. And I'm like, okay, I got $250. I'm going to use that for the next 2 weeks. So I'm not going to go eat McDonald's today. I guess I'm not going to buy that energy drink. And then the rest goes in my savings and I let it grow, and out of mind, out of sight, out of sight, out of mind, and it's going to be a really easy way for you to not be able to see it and you actually can save it. But going back into the virtual wallet, so no monthly service charge. You do have to provide proof of just being active in college and your email, college email, easiest way. Student ID. Now, there are overdraft fees if you were to overdraft, but one of the cool things with us is we actually have something called low cash mode. So low cash mode with what we offer is it'll give you extra time. You'll see literally a clock pop up notification. It'll say, hey, Chris, you have 24 hours before this transaction posts. You got to make a deposit. So that's a way that we've kind of stepped outside the norm because we're not big into fees. We just want people to understand what they have, to continue to grow with us and make good choices. And, we want to make sure that everybody has opportunity. And sometimes you need that extra time to make that deposit. Everybody's got a busy schedule. So this just gives you more control when your balance is low. And this is something that we offer that's free for everybody. So it's called low cash mode. And we're the first bank doing something like this. You literally will get a clock and it'll start counting down, gives you that extra time. And at the minimum, you get 24 hours. I've seen it where sometimes people will have longer just depending on how the day falls. But this will also give you, it makes it easier. And that way you're not charged any additional fees. So going back to the virtual wallet for the student. So no service charge. You get a low cash mode. You do get one courtesy refund. That's something that we do because it happens. Everybody makes mistakes and you're learning, And then anybody international student? Okay. You get one free international or domestic wire. So that's something that we do as well. And that's something that I know we're working on to see if we can do some more. But as of right now, we're one of the only ones that will not charge you for your first one. So that way you can get it set up. So it's a good way to be able to get money from back home or even send money back. And then you also get the tools of your online banking. You get the tools of the app. And we try to make it as seamless as possible. Now you'll have access to a debit card. And then going down a little bit more. Okay, perfect. So with our app, it's going to help you budget. You'll know when your balance is low, and it'll allow you to stick to a game plan, and it'll give you the basics. One of my favorite features that we have is called Money Bar. What Money Bar does is it literally will do a full, anytime you use your debit card, this will take all the guessing out of what you spend. So let's say I go to the gas station, let's say I go to the grocery store, and then I go out to eat. Depending on how often I do that, this Money Bar, when I click into my app, I'll literally look at it and it'll say, okay, Chris, you spent $500 at the gas station this month. You spent $150 at convenience stores, and then you start seeing the breakdown and you're like, oh man, I got to cut back. So that's why, I was eating good this month, and, next month I got to start to slim back a little bit. But it's a really easy way. That way you can see really what you're spending your money. So it takes a lot of the guessing out, and you can physically see all the transactions. Perfect. And then go back up right here, back to the Student Center. Thank you. So going back to how we're a game changer, right? And how we're going to help you get your game plan. So this is just what we offer for our online resources. So something that we do and we take a lot of pride in is that if you have the time, Fridays, everybody off on Fridays, usually? No class on Fridays? Okay. Yeah, that's how it was when I was in school. Fridays, we get a lot of students come in on Fridays, and they'll just come talk to Amanda. Amanda's one of my bankers. I have another banker. Her name is Amy. Sometimes they'll just come in, ask a question. Hey, how do I do this? Or, hey, I have this question, and sometimes, with some of us, being a first-time college student also means you're the first person in your family to really handle credit. You're the first person in your family that's going to buy a home. There's going to be different things that, it's scary, it's new, and it's exciting. But that's what we do. That's the difference maker that we have, is that you can come in, you can call on the phone, and you know who you're going to talk to. You're going to speak to Amanda. Amanda's going to say, hey, well, Chris, this is what I have available. Come in and come see me. Or if you can't, hey, this is what we can do. This is how you can build your credit. I know this isn't working for you right now, but this is how we can get there. And that's what we do. We want to set you up for success. And sometimes we have to start slow, and that's okay. But it's the little things will continue to keep adding up. So far, some of the things that we've learned is, online resources, being able to have the relationship with the banker, and sometimes just having a face to a name just makes it so much easier. So one thing we're going to do today before we leave is Amanda's actually going to give you her card. And that way, if you have any kind of questions about anything, there's no dumb questions. You can ask. You can ask, and, we'll do our best to help you. And that's something that we do for free. We're actually located in Lubbock, Texas, 4718 4th Street. She'll give you her card so you don't have to write this down. But we're pretty close. And then we also have an ATM in the area, and you're able to use that. It's a PNC affiliated ATM. Now, anybody here plan on starting any kind of business after they're done with school, venturing on their own? No?
For now.
Okay.
Anybody have a business now, side business, anything that you're working towards?
Okay. Well, that's something we can also do. Let's say that, you decide you want to open a business in the next couple of years. You figure out, I got this side hustle. I've been making some money on this, and this is actually working for me. That's an opportunity that we have, and I'm actually the business banker there. So if you have any kind of questions on, hey, what kind of paperwork do I need? Or, hey, how do I file this? How does this work? Can you help me put this together? That's something extra, that we offer. We'll do a full game plan with you. We'll break it down. We'll look at it, and we'll just make it as easy as possible for you. Doing something different like that is sometimes scary. So does anybody know, show of hands, how to open a bank account? Has anyone ever had to do it themselves? No? Okay. All right. So different financial institutions, they have different requirements, right? How to open an account. But in general, these are going to be the 5 basic steps. You'll visit a bank or a credit union, right? In person, online, and you can be able to open an account. Something you always want to look at is bringing 2 forms of identification. So you always want either a photo ID, which could be a driver's license, passport, birth certificate, social security card, or any other government issued ID. Step 3, personal details such as your address, your phone number, your email. And that way they can confirm the accuracy of your name on any checks, on your statements, on your account to make sure everything's, when they set it up, goes directly towards you, right? And then step 4, you just want to make sure you have some cash or a check available to make your first deposit. Now, does anybody know what a deposit is whenever you make your first deposit? That's it. That's it. And that's for you to have. So it's not something that the bank is charging. And this is the reason why I'm bringing this up is, as we've been talking to some of the schools, there's a little misconception that some people think that, I got to have $25 to open the account. That's not something that we keep. That actually goes towards you, and you're able to use that money that you put in your account. So that's available for you to use. And then step 5, if this is going to be any type of joint account or you're under the age and you're a minor, we're going to need somebody that's custodial parent or guardian of you to come with you. And they'll just need to bring their identification as well. With being able to open an account, we have a new way that's called Voyager. And the really neat thing about it is we can literally send you a code. It goes straight to your phone, and you can open your bank account in less than 5 minutes. Straight through a link. That's how cool and easy it is with what we're doing. So that's really neat. Okay. All right. Has anyone ever deposited a check into any account before? You have? Okay. How do you do it? What's the experience like?
I usually just show them the check and give them my ID.
Okay. It's pretty simple, right? Pretty simple, yeah. So literally, you go, you have your check, go to a teller inside a bank, you'll use your debit card. You can use your debit card at an ATM as well, deposit it in an ATM, or you can even take a photo of your check directly through an app. So it's an easy way that you can make a deposit as well. So there's 3 different ways. What about direct deposit? Does anybody know what direct deposit is?
If you got a job, fill out a form, and they send the money straight to the bank.
Yep, literally. And all you'll need is just going to be an account number and a routing number. So it's pretty basic, pretty simple, but that way you can always make sure that your money is going to be guaranteed. It goes directly into your account, and you don't have to deal with checks. You don't have to spend a little bit of extra time. As soon as you get paid, it's going to go straight into your account.
Also, for those of you that get financial aid, if you get money left over from your Pell Grants or your student loans, sometimes it's better for you to get that direct deposit set up so that way you get that money sent to your account instead of you getting a check that could get lost or get sent somewhere else. So it's always important to do that if you can.
I think it's better to put money into the account because if you got it on hand, you're like, I got it, so I'm gonna spend it.
Easy to spend that way, definitely.
It's easy to spend and it's easy to lose. If you're using cash a lot, you lose your cash, it's gone, right? If you've got your money in your account, it's going to be insured by the bank. So if something happens to it, you call us. You say, hey, I ran into this situation. I think I got scammed. This isn't a real thing. And I'm out all this money. It happens. Make purchases online. Sometimes, you'll use something too much and Amazon purchase, and next thing you know, somebody made a purchase for something that it wasn't you, but they had your card information. Call the bank, we'll file a dispute with you, and we'll get your money back.
So y'all won't alert for like just random purchases?
If it's something that's not your normal, we will alert you. We'll give you a phone call, you'll get an email, you'll even get a text message that'll say, hey, purchase of, like, especially if it's something weird or strange, $500. It's like, hey, Chris, $500 to hairextensions.com. And I'm like, man, that ain't me. Nope. I said, that ain't even me. We ain't even gonna play around. That's not me. So we'll say no on that one. But things like that are not your normal transactions. That's one of the cool things with the technology that we have, is that the more that you use your card, the more that you make purchases, we kind of see what's your norm. And then when we see something that's not your norm, it's like, whoa, hold on. Let's send them a message. Let's give them a call and say, hey, you got this weird transaction coming through. Do you want to let this in? Is this you or not? And then, you say yes or no, accept it or don't, decline it. So thinking about keeping your money safe, and we'll stay on this subject for a little bit, is, think about your passwords. Try not to have the same passwords for everything. Mobile banking, definitely utilize that. Try to avoid public computers, and always make sure you're using a secure internet connection. And really, that's going to be about all we have for today. We're trying to keep it pretty simple, and kind of see, if you guys have any questions, any thoughts, comments. That way we can give you back your time. We'll just kind of open it up right now.
Anybody have any questions about banking? I do want to ask you, what, as far as for careers in banking, what is there a certain type of a major or a certain type of person as far as skills that they need to have, or how would they go about it if someone's interested in working?
Sure.
For a bank?
Work for a bank, finance, business management, human resources, any kind of communications class. Those will all take you down. There's so many different avenues with finance and with banking that, it may not be a traditional bank for you, but it may be a back office job where you can work remotely now. Thanks to COVID in 2020, more positions have been created that we have available that nobody would have ever thought of, where I can work from Lubbock and I'm actually working in Colorado, and I'm still able to do the same job.
Any other questions? If not, thank you very much. We appreciate y'all coming in. Thank you. We appreciate your information. If you guys fill out your evaluations, your phone, and if you didn't sign in, you sign in. And we're going to go do